Um, Hello.
Hi!
Uh, what was the process like to transfer from Texas High to Premier?
I went up to the THS office, brought them the forms that I had gotten from Premier, and I was kind of off. That was it. It was very anticlimactic for the situation. Premier was it was such a different environment emotionally, because there's 100 students total, which means we only had like 6 teachers and then maybe like 3 more staff. And technically, we didn't even have a janitor. School's so small, we didn't even have a janitor, okay? Let's see. I felt it was definitely a lot easier to be noticed. Especially if you were doing more than 2 tests a week, you were automatically put on like every staff member's radar. Because other people were struggling to do 1 a week, and 2 a week is like the bar to graduate in 4 years. I went in there and did 2 tests on my first day. Which, by the way, was all they gave me that day. They didn't think I was going to get through half of it. The 4 hours feels like plenty. You'd think that, it's half a school day. You're not going to get anything done. No, I think that that's the optimal amount of time to be in class for. I'll be honest with you, 8 hours is ridiculous. And when I went to THS, or like all my schools before that, I was really away from home like 10 hours a day because I was a bus rider. Premier did not have school-owned transportation. They provided free T-Line tickets, the bus system in Texarkana. It's called T-Line. They provided tickets for that, but the nearest one is about 2 miles in that direction. And I was not about to walk 2 miles every day to go to school. I would get rides from like anyone and everyone. It was really difficult. Most students found rides with other students. Like, it was there would usually be conversations like daily about who was gonna take someone home. The 2 things I would have to say definitely helped with my mental health at Premier more than it did at any other school was the staff and then probably the environment. So first of all, staff, everyone was there because they wanted to help you. There was none of that like teacher coming to get a paycheck kind of thing. Everyone there genuinely cared, and they would like pull you aside if you were having a bad day, and you could cry on their shoulder. Like, everyone was close with these teachers. Basically, you could go cry on a teacher's shoulder if you needed to. If you were having a bad day, everyone was there for you. While I planned to graduate 2 years early, it wasn't actually guaranteed until I finished all my credits. Know the credits that your state makes you receive to graduate, because Texas, at least, I'm pretty sure almost every state does it, but you need certain courses to be able to graduate. And if you don't have those, you can have 4 credits in any of your core subjects. You could have 4 science credits, but if you don't have this particular class done, then you might as well have just not done it. You just had got an extra high school credit for nothing. Let me put it this way. You can also not have certain credits because the first thing I'm thinking of, I actually did not have the amount of credits that I needed, and I learned about it 2 weeks before the deadline to graduate. So I took both Comp 1 and Comp 2, which are English 1301, college classes. They were supposed to, I was told, they count for my English 3 and my English 4 credit. It made me so mad at the time. But I learned that those would only count for my English 3. Both of those classes only counted for my English 3. So I had to do an entire another course, which is 10 units, in like 2 weeks, in addition to my entire Algebra 2 course. And that was a time. So I didn't apply for any scholarships before graduating high school, which is the one thing I would have changed if I had gone back now, because I was stuck scrambling that entire summer to see if I could get financial aid before the deadline was up. Applying to college as a minor was no different than applying to college above the age of 18. They don't treat you any differently. Maybe it's because I completed all of the coursework in just 2 years and I was like always doing coursework.
Yeah.
But my workload is so much less now. I only go to school like 2.5 hours a week, and I spend one day outside of those hours doing all of my homework. I was pulling all-nighters during high school trying to get it all done. But I'd come home from the 4 hours of school, I'd do 4 more hours of work. I'd take like a 2-hour break for around dinner, and then I'd go straight back to it until I went to bed. College is so much better than I expected. I have so much more free time. I would say I'm less stressed. I'm less stressed from school. It's nice to have that amount of freedom. I would also like to thank my parents for their support, especially my mom for pulling an all-nighter with me the night before everything was due.